The person who is about to betray you is not acting like an enemy right now. They are acting like a friend, showing up, checking in, asking questions, being present in a way that feels genuine, because it mostly is. People who betray you are not strangers. They are people you trusted, people you let in, people who knew enough about your life to do real damage when the moment came. And the moment is closer than you think, because betrayal does not arrive without warning. It never has. There are always signs, specific, observable, consistent behaviors that appear in the weeks and months before someone crosses the line. Most people miss them, not because they are not paying attention, because they are applying the wrong framework. They are looking for enemies. The signs come from people who still look like friends. There are 7. Every single one is already happening in at least one relationship around you. Stay with me. Because the last one is the sign that appears closest to the moment, and the one that is the easiest to explain away until it is too late. The first thing is called the information harvest. Here is what this looks like. Someone in your life has become unusually interested in the details, not in a warm catching-up way, in a specific directed way. They ask about your plans, your finances, your relationships, your vulnerabilities, who you trust, what you are worried about, what you have that you cannot afford to lose. And because they ask warmly, because it comes wrapped in the language of care and curiosity, you answer. Here is what is actually happening. Before a betrayal is executed, it is researched. The person planning to cross you needs to know the landscape, what leverage exists, what your weak points are, what information would be most damaging if it reached the wrong person, what you value most, because what you value most is what they will use. The warmth of the questions is not the point. The answers are the point. What it is doing to you right now. You have probably shared more with this person than you intended to, not because you were careless, because the questions felt natural, because the interest felt genuine, because nothing about the conversation signaled that you were being researched rather than known. 3 signs the harvest is running. The questions are specific rather than general. They want details, not impressions. The interest in your life increased noticeably around the time something valuable was at stake, and you have walked away from conversations with this person feeling slightly more exposed than you intended to be. Think about it like this. A cartographer maps the territory before the army moves in. You have been the territory. The mapping is almost complete. People who answer every question from everyone eventually give someone everything they need. People who notice the harvest start choosing what goes on the map. But the next sign does not ask you anything. It just watches. The second thing is called the Quiet Audit. Here is what this looks like. They have become a careful observer of your life, your routines, your relationships, who you spend time with, who you confide in, where your support systems are, where the gaps in those systems are. They are not asking, they are watching. And what they are looking for is the moment, the specific window of vulnerability, where what they are about to do will land with maximum impact and minimum resistance. Here is what is actually happening. Every betrayal has a timing calculation. The person planning it is not going to move when you are surrounded, supported, and strong. They are going to move when you are isolated, distracted, or already managing something else. The quiet audit is the process of identifying that window. The observation feels like care. It is intelligence gathering. 3 signs the quiet audit is running. They know things about your life you do not remember telling them. They seem unusually aware of when you are going through something difficult, and their increased attention to your life coincided with a period when something important to you became visible. Think about it like this. A predator does not chase the strongest animal in the herd. It watches. It waits. It identifies the moment the target is separated from the group. You are being watched for that moment. People who perform under consistent observation without examining the observer give away their timing for free. People who notice the audit change the timing themselves. Now, the next sign, this is the one that feels like loyalty while it is building the case against you. The third thing is called the record keeper. Here is what this looks like. They remember everything, not warmly, like a friend who recalls a shared history. Specifically, like someone building a file. Every mistake you made, every time you fell short, every moment of vulnerability or failure that you shared in confidence. They remember it all, and occasionally, Subtly, without making it obvious, they reference it. Not to hurt you, not yet. To remind you that they have it. Here is what is actually happening. The record keeper is building leverage. In the event of a betrayal, when the moment arrives to justify what they are about to do or have already done, they will need a narrative, a version of events where you are the problem and they are the response. Every failure they have cataloged is a brick in that narrative. Every vulnerability you shared in confidence is evidence they are collecting for a case they have not filed yet. 3 signs the record keeping is running. They bring up past mistakes in contexts that do not require it. The things they remember most clearly are the things that show you in the worst light, and when there is a disagreement, they reach for your history rather than addressing the present moment. Think about it like this. Nobody builds a case file for someone they are loyal to. Files are built for adversaries. You are already in the file. The question is how much you have given them to put in it. People who share their full history with everyone eventually give someone a weapon made entirely from their own words. People who notice the filing stop contributing to the case. But the next sign is the one that operates in public, and it has already started. The 4th thing is called the reputation softening. Here is what this looks like. Your name is being prepared in the rooms you are not in, not destroyed, not yet. Softened. Small questions planted in conversations about your judgment. Gentle reservations expressed about your reliability. Casual observations about your character that land without accusation but leave a residue. By the time the betrayal is executed, the ground has already been laid. The people who might defend you have already been given a reason to hesitate. Here is what is actually happening. A betrayal requires an audience that will accept the betrayer's version of events. That audience needs to be preconditioned. The reputation softening is the preconditioning. It is not aggressive enough to alert you. It is not obvious enough to be called out. It is just enough to make the people around you slightly less certain about you before the moment arrives when their certainty would matter most. 3 signs the softening is running. People who used to be warm toward you have become slightly cooler without explanation. You have heard secondhand that someone expressed doubts about you that felt disproportionate to anything you did, and the person doing it is always present, always positioning themselves as concerned rather than critical. Think about it like this. A painter prepares the wall before applying the final color. The preparation is invisible in the finished work, but without it, nothing would stick. Your reputation is the wall. The preparation has already started. People who are unaware of the softening walk into the betrayal with no defenses already in place. People who notice it early start having direct conversations before the wall is fully prepared. Now, the next sign. This one feels like distance, and you have already felt it. The 5th thing is called the slow withdrawal. Here is what this looks like. They are pulling back, gradually, in ways small enough to explain away. They are busy, stressed, going through something, distracted. But the warmth that used to be consistent is becoming intermittent. The availability that used to be reliable has developed gaps, and something in you has registered it without being able to name it. Here is what is actually happening. The person preparing to betray you is creating emotional distance in advance of the action. Not because they feel nothing, but because it is harder to do what they are about to do from a position of closeness. The withdrawal is the psychological preparation. They are moving themselves far enough away from the relationship to be able to cross the line without it destroying something they still need intact. 3 signs the withdrawal is deliberate. It started without any identifiable cause. It is consistent rather than situational. There is no specific stress or difficulty that explains the pattern, and your instinct tells you something is wrong even when your mind keeps finding explanations for why it is not. Think about it like this. People do not back away from things they are moving toward. They back away from things they are preparing to leave. The withdrawal is the leaving, before the leaving is announced. People who accept the withdrawal and wait for the return give the person enough distance to do what they came to do. People who name it directly find out immediately whether there is something worth naming. The next sign is more subtle than everything before it, and it is the one most people feel but never say out loud. The 6th thing is called the guilt offering. Here is what this looks like. They become unexpectedly generous, kind in ways they were not before, attentive, present. They check in more. They do things for you unprompted. They are, briefly specifically, in the period just before everything changes, the version of themselves you always hoped they were. and it feels good, which is exactly the problem. Here is what is actually happening. People who are about to do something they know is wrong frequently engage in preemptive guilt management. The generosity is not a change of heart. It is a psychological offset, a way of balancing the internal ledger before the withdrawal happens. It also serves a practical function. It resets your trust in them at exactly the moment when your instincts might otherwise be telling you something is off. The kindness arrives just in time to silence the warning. 3 signs the guilt offering is running. The kindness arrived without a clear trigger or reason. It has a slightly performing quality, like warmth that is working harder than it needs to. And it appeared after a period of distance or at a moment when your gut was already telling you something was not quite right. Think about it like this. People who have nothing to atone for do not suddenly offer atonement. The gift arrived before the damage because the damage was already decided. The gift is not the relationship. The gift is the goodbye. People who receive the guilt offering and reset their guard hand over the last window to see clearly. People who stay alert despite the warmth. See the pattern before the pattern completes. And now, the last one. The one that appears closest to the moment. The one that is the easiest to miss because it looks like nothing at all. The 7th thing is called the final distance. Right before it happens, they disappear. Not dramatically, not obviously. They just become slightly unreachable. Responses slow down, plans get rescheduled. The connection that was always reliable develops a specific quality of unavailability that you cannot quite explain. And underneath the distance, underneath what you were telling yourself is just life getting busy, is the thing you already know but have not let yourself say out loud. Something is coming. Here is what is actually happening. The final distance is the last preparation. They are no longer gathering information. The reputation has been softened. The guilt has been managed. The emotional distance has been established. Now they are simply removing themselves from your life at close enough range that when the moment comes, when the betrayal finally lands, they are far enough away that the immediate impact does not reach them. 3 signs. The final distance is the warning. It arrived without explanation after a period of unusual warmth. It has a quality that feels different from normal unavailability, more deliberate, more complete. And your instinct, the one you have been explaining away for weeks, has stopped offering explanations. Think about it like this. The calm before the storm is not the absence of the storm. It is the storm arriving. The distance is not nothing. It is the last thing that happens before everything changes. People who wait for the distance to explain itself wait too long. People who trust the instinct move first. Like this video, subscribe and drop a comment below telling me which sign you are seeing right now. I read every single one. You were not imagining it. You were never imagining it. You just needed someone to finally give it a name. Now you have 7. You have got this. You always did.